A dreamer with big ideas tries to save a failing UHF TV station his uncle won in a card game.
Hey, mister, change? You got change?
Here you go.
Thanks.
To date, this is the only Weird Al Yankovic movie, and that's a tragedy. When UHF came out, I was at the right age to laugh at all of the absurd moments throughout the movie. And it was a great supplement to my Weird Al Yankovic album collection. I would go as far as to say I've rented this movie probably more than just about any movie ever. And the reason is because anytime a new friend would come over to the house that hadn't seen UHF, we went straight to the video store to rent it. The movie's plot is pretty paper thin. It's really just a whole bunch of non sequitur segments that are spoofs and parodies of things that were in the news in the 1980s. When UHF came out, I was 7 years old, and I didn't get most of the references. And the same can be said for Weird Al's music. Most of his parodies, I heard his version before I heard the original. As an example, there is a fake movie trailer in UHF for a movie called Gandhi 2. Now, Gandhi drives a sports car, he's got a girl on both of his arms, and he kills bad guys. He even rips one of their hearts out right there on screen. I didn't know this was funny because the Gandhi in Gandhi 2 was the exact opposite of the real-life Gandhi. I didn't even know there was a real-life Gandhi. To me, this segment was funny because it was funny. Now, if there's a spoof or a parody that you just don't connect with, don't worry. It'll be over in probably 30 seconds and on to the next one. It's a movie about a TV station, and it almost makes you feel like you're flipping through the channels looking for something good to watch, just hanging on something long enough to see what it's about. The older I get, the more genius this movie becomes. I now understand a lot of the references that were over my head when I was a kid. When UHF came out, the cast was basically a bunch of unknown actors. And honestly, today, most of those actors have now had their time in the spotlight and are again unknown to younger generations. But if you were the right age, you will not believe the star power this movie was able to pull off. We have a pre-Nanny Fran Drescher, a pre-Seinfeld Michael Richards, a pre-SNL Victoria Jackson. And this is the first time that I ever saw John Paragon outside of his Pee-wee's Playhouse zombie makeup. If you talk to anyone who has seen UHF, they're going to tell you the same thing. Michael Richards portraying janitor Stanley Spadowski was the breakout star of the movie. In UHF, he's here with all of his Kramer mannerisms, a little more exaggerated and a little less refined. If he's on screen, you're not going to be able to look away. And this plays as a joke in the movie, but Michael Richards really sells how much he loves his mop. And if I'm in the right mood when I watch this, when that mop gets taken away from him, I feel a little tinge of emotion. And that emotion is only felt because of Michael Richards' excellent physical acting ability. You can really feel the passion that the cast and crew put into making UHF. This is a low-budget movie with a bunch of no-name actors who are trying to make something unique, which is also basically the plot of the movie UHF. Without UHF, we wouldn't know about the great store of Spatula City. We don't know what would happen if you told Conan the librarian that you don't know the Dewey Decimal System. We wouldn't know that turtles are nature's suction cups, and we wouldn't know how a homeless man helps a blind man try to solve a Rubik's Cube. Speaking of homeless man, the homeless man in the movie, portrayed by Vance Colvig, is one of the bright spots of the movie. What you initially think is a minor character who's there just for a couple of throwaway jokes ends up playing a huge role in the plot. A lot of people incorrectly think that Weird Al is a family-friendly one-trick pony. In reality, he is one of the all-time kings of counterculture. He got his start pushing back against mainstream culture and creating new avenues for people to enjoy and create parody. While Weird Al is now a household name, at the time when he came out, he was pushing boundaries. How else would he have remained relevant for over 40 years, much longer than 99% of the artists he's parodied over the years? UHF is just a fun movie. Now, I may like it more than most because of the number of times I watched it when I was younger, but the movie is so far out in left field, it never loses relevance.
Hey, mister, thank you for the change. You gave me that 1955 double-die Denver Mint penny, and it was worth a pretty penny. Look at this neat watch I got.
A store that sells nothing but spatulas, drinking from the fire hose, Rambo, shirtless librarians, table saw accidents, telethons, Twinkie Wiener sandwiches.